We begin in Indonesia with the first sign of the submarine, which has been missing for days. Search teams have recovered debris believed to be from the vessel. The military chief said that scans detected the sub at a depth of 850 meters. It's calculated that its oxygen supplies ran out several hours ago, but the Navy said it would continue to search for possible survivors.
Military officials described these latest developments as deeply concerning. The debris you mentioned, they discussed what exactly was found, and they've also declared that the status has now changed from sub-miss to sub-sunk. Now, some of that debris includes the torpedo launch pipe, a plastic bottle of grease, which is used for the periscope, Korean debris with some Korean writing because this submarine was refitted in South Korea and returned to Indonesia in 2012, sponges used to clear condensation, and also items used for prayer.
The prominent Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny said on Friday that he would begin gradually ending his hunger strike in a Russian prison, one he had initially started to demand proper medical care. Navalny's announcement came on the 24th day of his hunger strike after a medical trade union that supports him and which has treated him in the past appealed to him to start eating again or risk death. The worsening health of President Vladimir Putin's biggest domestic opponent and the authorities' initial failure to give him the treatment he demanded has triggered a Western diplomatic offensive designed to cajole Moscow into making concessions. In an Instagram post arranged by his lawyers on Friday, Navalny said he was still demanding that he be seen by a doctor of his own choosing.
Prosecutors in France have opened a terrorism investigation after a police employee was stabbed to death at a police station near Paris. The 48-year-old administrative worker was reportedly stabbed in the neck by a man who was then shot and killed by police at the scene. French President Emmanuel Macron said his country would never give in to what he called Islamist terrorism.
A normally quiet residential area just outside Paris, now the center of attention in France. Security agents flooded the area investigating the killing of a police employee that occurred in an unlikely location. The police station is very well protected. There is a protective lock, and so people can't just walk in. So the attacker waited for her to go and change her parking ticket.
To Gauteng, and tensions are on the rise again in Rabi Ridge near Tembisa as people attempt to erect shacks on government land. There were similar scenes nearly 2 weeks ago when private security and police officers fired rubber bullets on protesting residents.
Rabi Ridge residents in Johannesburg vow to build on government land. They say government promised to erect RDP houses last year May, but only 3 have been built so far. They say they'll now build shacks, but racial tensions among the community is also brewing.
Le ndawo lena siyazi kuyindawo yethu abantu abamnyama kodwa masithi siyayimamelisisa ebantwini bathi indawo yamakhalati so sifuna ukwazi ukuthi lamakhalati bangena ngayiphi indlela kule ndawo ngoba thina masingena kulesiganga ashisi lama RDP yabo sibanga isiganga sethu.
चीनी सफ़ीर कोयटा में मौजूद हैं। मैं ख़ुद उनसे अभी मिलकर आ रहा हूँ। उनके हौसले बिल्कुल बुलंद थे। उनके जो एक्टिविटीज़ कल सुबह हैं उन्होंने अपने एक्टिविटीज़ भी जारी रखने का कहा है और जितने दिन का उनका प्लान है वो अपना टूर कंप्लीट करके ही चले जाएंगे।
Sri Lankan police have made new arrests over the Easter Sunday attacks in the year 2019. Top Muslim leader and former minister Rishad Batiuddin and brother Rihad Batiuddin have been arrested for aiding and abetting the Easter Sunday attackers. Now, Rishad Batiuddin is the leader of the All Ceylon Makal party and a member of the parliament. The arrests have been made by the Criminal Investigations Department under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. According to the police spokesperson, the brothers have been arrested on circumstantial and scientific evidence that they had connections with the suicide bomber who carried out the attacks.
The British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded not guilty on Friday to federal sex trafficking charges. Maxwell entered the plea through her lawyer during what was her first appearance before a judge since her arrest last summer. Maxwell is accused of helping the late financier Jeffrey Epstein recruit and sexually abuse girls. Her attorney, David Oscar Marcus, spoke outside the court.
We just finished court upstairs for Ghislaine. She was there. She's courageous and tough. It was not easy to come to court.
Last month, a new indictment brought more charges against Maxwell, increasing the total count to 8. Prosecutors alleged that Maxwell groomed and paid a 14-year-old girl to give Epstein nude massages from 2001 to 2004.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe is planning to sell hunting rights for endangered elephants in their forest. The move is aimed at shoring up the tourism industry, which has been hit by COVID-19 pandemic. The plan is to sell rights to shoot as many as 500 elephants. Zimbabwe has a budget of $25 million for the upkeep of its wildlife parks. Most of this money is raised through sports hunting, but with the pandemic-related travel restrictions, that source has disappeared. The announcement has unsettled animal rights activists around the world. Just a few weeks back, the African forest elephant was declared critically endangered, and the African savanna elephant was deemed endangered too. Zimbabwe has an estimated elephant population of 100,000. Advocacy groups have called the decision appalling.